So hello everyone, welcome to the project. So in this session, we'll be developing one amazing end-to-end medical
Hello.
chatbot with the help of large language model, LangChain, Pinecone, Flask, and AWS. So these kinds of implementation I will be bringing in my channel frequently. So many of you have already requested me for that, sir. Try to bring different project implementation series on the channel so that we can learn, right? So just to tell you guys, I also implemented or recorded one medical chatbot video, but it was like a little bit older implementation. So there many things has been updated, and because of that there are many people actually they are having issue with the setup. So they requested me personally, sir, I'm not able to execute your medical chatbot project because Pinecone is giving this kinds of error. Okay, so how we can resolve that? Because if you see the Pinecone environment, so they have updated their like code base. Okay, so right now let's say if you want to use the Pinecone, you have to use it in a different way. Okay, but previously it was in a different way, right? So that's why I decided to re-implement this medical chatbot with the updated, let's say, code, so that you won't be facing any kinds of issue. Okay, so in this session I'm going to show you how we can implement completely end-to-end this medical chatbot with the help of large language model. And for the orchestration framework, I'm going to use the LangChain, and vector database wise, I'm going to use the Pinecone. And for the front-end development, I'll be using Flask. And this one for the deployment, actually I'm going to use the AWS services. Okay, with the combination of all the tool, we'll try to implement the entire projects as an end-to-end. Okay, so this is the idea. So I think guys my voice is audible to all of you. Let me know. So my voice is audible, guys. Let me know. And if you have any question, please let me know in the chat. Yeah, and you can ask me why I started this like implementation as live, because what I feel like live coding is always fun. So here we'll try to implement everything in a live mode. You can also bring your system. You can also do the code with me, right? So that's how we can get together and we can implement these kinds of projects. Okay, instead of recording the video, I think that would be fine, right? Yeah, so this is my request, guys. So whenever, let's say, I'm going to schedule the next session for the development, make sure you just connect with your laptop or desktop, okay, instead of joining from your mobile phone. So I want you to join with your system, because we'll implement together. Okay, we'll implement together so that it would be a kinds of fun. Okay, yeah guys, and there is another confirmation. The computer vision playlist I started, it will re-continue, no need to worry. So I'll try to complete each and everything, whatever things are left. Okay, so far I'll try to complete them also. So we'll also continue this project implementation. We'll also try to continue the computer vision playlist. Okay, both will try to complete. Yeah, so let's start the implementation, guys. But before the implementation, first of all, I want to give you the idea about medical chatbot, and like the architecture of this chatbot, like how we're gonna develop that. And definitely I'm also going to talk about the technology and tools stack actually we'll be using to develop the entire system. Okay, then after that we can start the development. Okay, so this session will take time, guys. Okay, so make sure you sit with me and try to complete the entire, let's say, implementation, because here we are not going to implement only one component, we'll be implementing till deployment. Okay, so definitely this session will take some time. So I want you to just sit with me and try to complete the entire playlist, guys. Okay, and if you're busy right now, if you can't join, no need to worry. I think this recording would be available on my channel, so anytime you can open it up and you can start the implementation. And all the code materials, everything I'm going to share in the description. Even I'm also going to share my GitHub link with you, okay, so that you can also get the code from there. Start agents playlist. Yeah, so in this playlist only we'll be continuing with the agents implementation as well, Shiva. Okay, yeah, so this is the like let me show you. I created a playlist you can see I created a playlist called end-to-end generative AI projects. Okay, so if you open it up, so here this is the playlist, and here I already uploaded one video. You can see build generative AI powered job recommender system with MCP. Okay, so this is the first video, guys, I uploaded in this playlist, and this is the second one actually today we are doing. Okay, and today we'll be implementing the medical chatbot, because what I can say, this is a good project, and even you can also mention this project in your resume. Okay, so this is a like amazing project from the healthcare side. You can also watch this one if you want. Okay, so in this playlist only I'll keep on adding the new projects. Okay, the new projects actually I'm going to teach you. So whether it's a AI agents, whether it's a MCP, whether it's a any kinds of rack based system, okay, everything will update in this particular playlist itself. Okay, yeah, fine. And one more request, guys, so please try to hit the like. All of you just hit the like, and if you are new to my channel, if you haven't subscribed yet, so please try to subscribe to my channel, guys. Let's hit 50k subscriber as soon as possible, guys. Only I just need your support, and I promise everything I will provide. Okay, whatever you need from my end, I'll try to provide in my channel. Yeah, fine, guys. So let's start the discussion. So I think, guys, you already know about medical chatbot. Okay, what is medical chatbot? I think all of you are familiar with chatbot. Like, what is chatbot exactly, right? So I don't need to explain about the chatbot. So this is medical chatbot, right? Chatbot. So what is chatbot exactly? Chatbot means, let's say this is a conversational actually system. So here you can do the conversation, okay, regarding any kinds of topic. But here the main focus is to create the chatbot to the medical domain. Let's say I think you know that, guys, we need a doctor, right? Let's say if we are suffering with any kinds of disease, if we need any kinds of help related our health, okay, so definitely we need the let's say help from the doctor side. And it is not possible to actually go to the doctor actually anytime. Okay, it's not possible. If you are going to the doctor, so you have to book the appointment, then you have to wait for the date. Okay, then you will be able to meet the doctor. So what we can do, we can create a kinds of assistant system. Okay, medical assistant system. We can use some sort of data, okay, to, let's say, give some knowledge to the chatbot, so that if you are suffering with any kinds of disease, if you are suffering with any kinds of problem, you can open your bot and you can ask, like, I'm suffering this particular issue, or let's say I'm having this issue. So what your chatbot will do, instantly it will give you some suggestion, it will give you some feedback, what you need to do exactly, right? So with that, what is happening, you don't need to book the appointment with the doctor. So instantly you can get the feedback, instantly you can get the suggestion. And if there is a urgent requirement, okay, you need a physical doctor, definitely you can visit that time. Let's say this is the night time. Let's say currently the time is, let's say, 12 a.m. okay, and it's not possible to go to the doctor at this time. So what I can do, I can open up my medical chatbot, and I can let's say give my concern. So definitely I will get some feedback with respect to that. Maybe I can take some step, right? So yeah, so this kinds of, let's say, chatbot, these kinds of agents are automating today's industry, today's actually generation. So people are not depending on the let's say person anymore. So they're creating this kinds of automated system, automated platform, and definitely they're let's say getting lots of help from that, right? So you have to also think in that way. So whatever domain you are working, it doesn't matter. Just try to figure the problem statement, how you can automate this, let's say, problem statement with a specific solution. So this is what at the end my objective is to show you. Whatever project, let's say, I'll try to build up, definitely there would be a use case. Okay, there would be, let's say, some sort of domain. Okay, a domain, let's say, specification. So with respect to that, we'll try to develop projects, and definitely we'll be getting some idea how you can utilize this kinds of Gen AI, this kinds of large language model, whatever LangChain tool, whatever, let's say, vector database tool you have learned, how you can apply in the real world, let's say, project implementation. Okay, so each and everything I'm going to show you with a practical example, with a practical development, so that your understanding would be more clear, And if you are want to create anything else, guys, you can easily do that. Okay, so this is my main intention to start this particular playlist, because what I believe, if you are learning anything, so unless and until you are not developing anything real time, so definitely this learning won't make sense. Okay, so that's why it is always important to develop something from your end. Okay, yeah, because I got like really good feedback of this project, like Medical Chatbot. I think you remember when I published my first Let's Generative AI course on the YouTube channel. So this was the main project there, like Medical Chatbot, and I got like lots of feedback from the people side, like this is a really good project and I want to add this project in my resume. I want to, let's say, add this project in my college project, let's say submission. So I got lots of feedback. So that's why I thought, let's recreate this project with a new domain, with a new tool, with an updated code. Okay, so that you won't be having any kinds of issue, okay, during executing the project. This is the main idea. Yeah, this is for the beginner as well. You can also watch that, but to understand this in detail, you have to know about generative AI. Okay, yeah, Maniam Sanjay, what are the prerequisite to make this project? Prerequisite wise, at least you should familiar with generative AI concept. Okay, yeah, and some tools like LangChain. Fine, guys, so yeah, we can start. So I think, guys, you already got the problem statement we're going to develop. Now let's try to understand the architecture, okay, how we're going to develop the project. Because if you see the large language model, okay, LLM, so there are like so many LLMs right now available in the market. Okay, if you open the internet and if you search a list of the large language model, you will see like GPT is there, okay, you will see like Llama is there, you will see like Mistral is there, okay, you will see like Gemma is there. I think recently Gemma has published Gemma 3, I think. Okay, then there are like so many models are available. Okay, so many models are available, and if you want to use this model, what you can do, you can use this model in a 3 way. Okay, either you can only do the inference. Let's say you are taking this GPT model, okay, GPT model, and what you are doing, you are giving a prompt. Okay, you are giving a prompt, and here you are getting a response. Okay, response, because this model has trained with some specific data. So if I talk about GPT, let's say I'm using GPT-4. So if you open the OpenAI website, so you will see that GPT-4 has been trained on the entire internet dataset till October. Okay, October 2023. So I'm not sure. Let me check this. So if I open the OpenAI models, okay. So let's open the first website. Pinecone is free or paid? Pinecone is paid, but initially it will give you some free credits. Okay, Shiba. So maybe you can create 1 to 2 cluster, and you will be getting 1 GB of space. Okay. So there you can store your vector and you can perform the operations. But if you want to store more than that, you have to purchase their premium subscription. But mostly we'll be using the free services, okay, not the paid one. So here you can see, guys, this is the OpenAI website, and here we are having lots of model. Okay, now let's try to open up the GPT-4 model. So I think GPT-4 is there somewhere. So GPT-4, yeah, so you can see GPT-4 is there. So if I open the GPT-4, so here you can see the knowledge base of the GPT-4, the knowledge cutoff. Sorry, it was not October, it was December 1, 2023. Okay, so let me just rub it. So this is December, right? Yeah, so December 1. December, okay, December 1, 2023. Okay, so this is the knowledge cutoff of GPT-4. So that's how, if you open any kinds of model, whether it's Llama, whether it's a Mistral, whether it's a Gemma, all the model has their knowledge cutoff. Okay, knowledge cutoff means the data they are using for the training purpose, of this model, some specific duration data. Okay, so that means till December 1 2023, whatever information you have in the internet, whatever data you have in the internet, this model knows everything. That means you can easily give any kinds of prompt and you can get the response. Okay, because this kinds of LLM is a multitasking model. You can perform all possible tasks, right? Yeah. But here, let's say your requirement is to create a specific application which will do some specific work. So for this, what we can do, guys, I think you know that we can give some prompt template. We can mention the LLM like you are assistant, your task is that only, right? If you are getting any other, let's say, command from the user, you don't need to supposed to do that. So that's how we can also tweak the model and we can perform the task, right? But let's say you have some custom data and you want to utilize that. You don't want to use the raw model. You want to use the pre-trained model. You have some custom data. Okay, you want to utilize that. So you can use your custom data in a two different way. Either you can create a RAG based system. Okay, RAG. Either you can do the fine tuning operation. Okay, fine tuning operation. Now, all of you already know that fine tuning is not an easy task. Yes or no, guys? Fine tuning is not an easy task. To do the fine tuning, here you need lots of data. Okay, the first thing you need lots of data. The second thing you need the computational power. Okay, compute power. So compute power means you need a high configuration graphics card, GPU. Okay, and definitely you need some cost. Okay, what is the cost? Because if you are using your custom data, you have to annotate those data. Okay, and for GPU also you have to pay cost. So that's why whenever I'm talking about the fine tuning, so here three things is involvement: data, the computational cost, computational power, and the cost. Okay, so that's why fine tuning is not an easy task. So it's not easy for us to do the fine tuning as a developer. Okay, it is easy for like those company who has actually lots of budget. So currently, if I'm talking about big tech companies, they're having lots of budget, they're having lots of money, they're having a great infrastructure, they're having a great, let's say, office, they're having some amazing employees. So they can easily do these kinds of fine tuning operations with a specific large language model. And that is what they are doing. So every, let's say, every 3 months, every 6 months, they're bringing new model to us, right? So this is what actually they are doing. But as a developer, this is not easy for us to do the fine tuning operations, right? So that's why mostly people will be using the RAG based approach. Okay, so RAG based approach. So in RAG, what we do, let's say we have some custom data. Okay, we have some custom data. With the custom data, we create something called knowledge base. Okay, knowledge base, and we connect our large language model LLM to the knowledge base. Okay, so this is the idea. Got it? So here the approach will be using RAG approach. Okay, RAG approach to implement the entire project, because here the custom data I want to use. Okay, so this is my own data. Okay, this is my own data, and I want to utilize this data to implement the entire system, because I'm not satisfied with the pre-trained model response. Okay, so let's say the medical chatbot I'm not satisfying with the pre-trained model response. So what I want to do, I want to add some more information on top of that. Okay, this model is already powerful, but I want to add some more information on top of that. So for this, either you can use the fine tuning approach, either you can use the RAG approach, but we are not going to use the fine tuning approach because we don't have this many of resources. Okay, so that's why the easy let's say approach would be the RAG approach. Okay, we'll be creating a RAG based system. So here we'll be utilizing our custom data. We'll try to create a knowledge base with the help of vector database, and the orchestration framework wise we'll be using LangChain, and we'll be connecting our large language model to the knowledge base. And if you are asking anything with respect to the medical domain, definitely your chatbot will able to give you the response in a good way. Okay, and I can use this chatbot for my personal assistant. Even I can also do the business, okay, with this particular application. Maybe I can host this chatbot for the entire, let's say, entire people. So what they can do, they can also come to my platform, they can also do the sign up operations, and they can take the help from my chatbot. Okay, that's how you can do the business. Okay, this is the idea. Now the custom data wise, guys, I am having an amazing book with me. Okay, so this book, you can see this book is having 637 pages. Okay, this is a like very huge book, and this book name is the Gale Encyclopedia of Medicine, second edition. Okay, so those who have studied, let's say, medical science, I think they are already familiar with this particular books. Okay, so this books is having almost all kinds of, let's say, disease, their diagnosis technique, and the medicine. Okay, so if you open the book, so it is having lots of chapter. Okay, it is having lots of chapter. Okay, so let me show you some glimpse of that. So if I open some of the page, so see guys, so see here. Okay, so abdominal wall defect, so this is one kinds of disease. So all the information they have written about the disease. Okay, then the prevention technique as well, that means the diagnosis technique, even see diagnostic technique, even the treatment, as well as it is also having some medicine name. Okay, like you can use this medicine to let's say do the treatment of this particular disease. Okay, so that's how it is having almost all possible, okay, all possible disease. Okay, let's say abortion, we have, then we have something called see, this is another abortion therapeutic. Then we have, see, also the diagram is also having the visualization diagram, like what it is exactly. Then you can see some other disease as well, like abscess, this is one of the disease. Then you have see abscess, incision, and drainage. Okay, then you have abuse. So that's how, if you see the book, if you go through the entire book, so all possible disease you will be able to see. See, this is another disease. Okay, even you can also search some kinds of disease. See, this is, I think, acne. Okay, acne. Okay, so most of the person has this problem, right? Acne problem, and why acne happens, and what is the diagnosis technique. Okay, each and everything they have already written. Okay, even the medicine you can use for this acne. So yeah, so I can say this is an amazing book. Okay, I can say this is an amazing book, which is let's say I can utilize for my chatbot. Okay, as a knowledge base. Because if you want to be a doctor, so what you have to do, guys, if you want to be a doctor, so definitely you have to gain lots of knowledge on this particular medical science, and definitely you have to read a lots of books, you have to get the training, then you'll be able to become a good doctor, right? Because you know everything about the disease, you know everything about the treatment. So that's how you're becoming a doctor. So we are following the same strategy. That means we are taking a model, and we are giving some sort of data. We're let's say giving some information to the model, so that my model has all of the information regarding the medical science. And later on, if I'm asking anything, definitely my model will be give something from that, right? So this is what actually we are doing. So as a custom data wise, we'll be using the entire books. Okay, we'll try to extract all of the content from the books, and we'll try to create a knowledge base. Okay, this is the main idea. Got it? And with the help of that, we'll try to create a RAG system, that means RAG system, retrieval augmented generations. Okay, so those who have already studied generative AI, I think you know what is RAG. So if you are not familiar with Gen AI, guys, so what I will suggest you to watch my generative AI playlist. So here is my playlist, guys, generative AI mastery full course. Okay, so here you will be getting two parts, the part 1 and the part 2. Just try to complete the generative AI course, so it would be easy for you to implement these kinds of projects, okay, in a good way. Fine. So this is what actually we'll be doing. Now let me show you the process. Okay, the process will be following, the architecture will be following to develop the entire projects. So here, let's say we are having a books. Okay, here we are having a books. Medical book. I can write a medical book. Medical book. And the book format is PDF. Okay, PDF. Now it can be anything. It can be also docs. It can be also TXT. It doesn't matter. You can load any kinds of, let's say, file with the help of LangChain. Okay, I'll show you how we can use the LangChain to load these kinds of documents. So the first task is to extract all of the content from these books. Okay, so here I'll try to write extract the documents of the book. Okay, book. So after extracting, what we have to do, guys, we have to perform the chunking. Chunking. Okay, chunking. So why chunking is required? Because if you see the model, let's say if I open the GPT-4 model only, so what is the context window of this model, guys? Just try to see here. So it is the GPT-4 for context window is 8,192 tokens. Okay, so that means it can take 8,192 tokens, okay, as an input. Okay, highest input. If you are giving more than that, so this model won't be working. So this will give you the error. But if you see these documents, okay, the documents we have, the books we have, if you extract all of the data, okay, so you can consider each and every word it's a token. And if you count the token from the entire books, so definitely it would be more than, okay, it would be more than your 8,000, okay, more than it would be 8,000. Definitely it would be more than 8,000. Okay, so that time, can I pass the entire, let's say, books data to the model, to the LLM? Possible. Let's say if I'm using GPT-4, that time is it possible, guys? Tell me. Definitely not possible, because we can see the context window 8,192. Okay, but if we use the entire books, and if you see the token size, it is like very huge. Okay, which is overcapping over let's say coming my context window. So that's why instead of giving the all of the informations to the model at one time, what we'll be doing is we'll be creating a chunks. Chunks means the small part of the data. Okay, so there is a parameter called chunk size and chunks overlap. So based on that, we'll try to do the chunking. Let's say if chunk size is 1,000, so what will happen? It will try to count 1,000 tokens and it will create a one chunk. Okay, then again it will count 1,000 tokens and it will count another chunk. So that's how we'll be creating multiple chunks. Okay, small part. Let's say here I can draw. So here I can draw, let's say this is the entire documents you have. Okay, this is the entire documents you have. Okay, now chunking means here it will create a small part. So this will become your first chunks, this will become your second chunks, this will become your third chunks. Okay, and these are the chunks we'll try to use. Okay, now we'll try to send this data to the LLM. Okay, to the LLM. Now if you see the context window, let's say chunk size is 1,000. Okay, so each and every chunks is having 1,000 token. That means if my model let's say input size is 8,000, okay, so here we are sending 1,000 tokens to the model. That means there is no problem with the input. Okay, so that time actually it will not throw any kinds of error. So this is the idea of using the chunking approach, guys, in RAG. So this is the main component of RAG. So definitely you will be learning whenever you will go through the generative AI course. Okay, each and everything I already explained in detail. Okay, so how things are working. So mostly this is a practical implementation series, so I'm not going to go into the theory into that. Okay, this is the idea. So here we'll do the chunking. So after the chunking, guys, what I will do, I will use a embedding model, because this is a raw text, right? And we can pass the raw text to the model. For this we have to convert them to the numbers, that means vectors. So for vectors we use something called embeddings. Okay, embedding model. Okay, embedding model. So there are some embedding models are available. Either you can use some paid embedding model. Either you can use some free embedding model which is available on the Hugging Face platform. So in this demo, guys, I'm going to use open source embedding model from the Hugging Face called Sentence Transformer. Okay, and if you want to use OpenAI Hugging Face embedding, OpenAI embedding model, you can use that. Okay, it's up to you. So once I get the embedding model, so what I will do, guys, I'll try to create the vector embedding. Vector embedding. Okay, vector embedding. So this will return you the vectors of the text you are having. So let's say here we are having a text, right? And we can't pass this raw text to the model, so we have to convert them to the numbers. And this number is called vector embeddings. And we have to store these embeddings in a database, and we call it as a vector database. So here we'll try to use Pinecone. Okay, Pinecone vector DB. Okay, Pinecone is a vector DB. It is running on cloud. Okay, so this will become my knowledge base, KB. Okay, KB means knowledge base. So here all of the vector will try to store, because why I'm using vector database, because it is having something called indexing and similarity search. So it can perform something called similarity search. It can do something called retriever operations here. So I already explained the vector database theory in my GenAI playlist. Okay, you can check it out. So this is what actually we use instead of using any traditional relational database. Okay, now here what we have to do, we have to connect the large language model. So here let's say we are having our LLM. Okay, we are having our LLM. So in case let's say we are using GPT model, you can use any kinds of model. You can use Llama, you can use Mistral, any kinds of model you can use. Okay, so I'll be using the provider. So mostly I'll be using the OpenAI provider, and we'll be accessing the GPT model. If you want, you can also use Grok provider. You can use something called OpenRouter. OpenRouter also gives some free model. You can also utilize that. It's up to you. Okay, so this model will try to connect with the knowledge base. So that means what will happen, let's say if user, so let's say this is the user. Okay, this is the user. If they're asking anything, so let's say they're asking one question. Let's say, what is acne? Okay, this is the question they're asking. So this question will go to the knowledge base first of all. Okay, knowledge base, and knowledge base will return some rank result. Okay, rank result. So it will return something called rank result. Rank result. So there is a parameter called k. If k is equal to 3, it will return 3 relevant response. Okay, 3 relevant response. It will do something called similarity search, and the most similar answer it will try to return on this particular question. Okay, and this will go to the LLM, and LLM also will try to take the question as well from the user. Okay, so what is the question? Question is nothing but what is acne, and your knowledge base is giving the answer. That means some rank result. Okay, that means now LLM has the context. Okay, context of the question. So what is acne? Because acne, okay, what is acne exactly? It is coming from the knowledge base. That means your LLM is already connected with the vector database. Okay, it has all the information about the acne. So LLM will try to process the question as well as the answer. Okay, and this will give you something called the actual response that time. Okay, we call it as a actual response. So this is what we need to show the user. Okay, and this response will try to pick and show in the front end. Okay, so for the backend development, we'll be also using the Flask, and for the front end development also we'll be using the Flask. Here we'll try to add some HTML and CSS code. We'll try to create a front end page. The user can do the chat operation. That chat will go in the backend, and in the backend actually we'll try to send in the LLM. Okay, so this is the entire process, guys, we'll be using in this particular development. Yeah. So पप्पी भाई मुझे ये बता दे यार, शुरुआत कहाँ से करूँ? See, you can start from the playlist. Okay, I have. So here is the generative AI playlist. So let's try to complete it first of all. Then it would be easy for you to develop these kinds of projects. Okay, happy. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. You do such a great job. Thank you so much. Yeah. So guys, I think architecture wise it is clear. Okay, and this architecture we call it as RAG. Okay, RAG, retrieval augmented generation. Yeah, so here we are not fine tuning the model. Instead of that, we are creating a knowledge base, and this knowledge base we are giving to the model as a custom data source. Okay, this is the idea. And nowadays, whatever application you see over the internet, whatever, let's say new application comes, all of the applications build up with this RAG technique, guys. Trust me, all of the application is built up with this RAG technique. And in RAG, actually, there are some different kinds of RAGs are available. Okay, so it's not like that you have to always use the same RAG technique. There are types of RAG you can use. Different types of RAG you can use. Maybe in my YouTube channel, I will also teach you the different types of RAG you can implement. Okay. Yeah. Fine. Hmm. And nowadays people are also using agents, okay, AI agents in this RAG as well. So we call it as a agentic RAG. So I'll also show you how we can develop that. Yeah. Now let's talk about the technology. The technology we're going to use in this development. So tech stack. So tech stack wise, definitely programming language will be using Python. Then we'll be using LLM. So LLM wise, we'll be using OpenAI, OpenAI GPT. Then orchestration framework wise, we'll be using LangChain to orchestrate the entire system. Vector database wise, we'll be using Pinecone. Then backend and front end development wise, we'll be using Flask. Okay. Uh, yeah. And for the deployment, we'll be using AWS. Okay, Amazon Web Service. And here we'll try to deploy this project as a CI/CD. CI/CD. Okay, CI/CD will try to deploy. Yeah, so this is the entire tech stack, guys. We'll try to utilize inside our development. This is the idea. Hmm. Okay. Now let me give you some brief idea about the deployment. How we are going to deploy the entire system. Maybe I can give you some idea. Yeah. So here, guys, we'll be creating the CI/CD. Okay, CI/CD approach. So let's say here you have your project code in the GitHub. Project code. So here, what will happen? So let's say this is the entire CI/CD pipeline. CI/CD pipeline. We'll try to implement this pipeline. Okay, so here we'll be using GitHub Actions for the CI/CD tool. Okay, so there is a tool called GitHub Action. So this is the CI/CD tool. It will perform the trigger operation. Okay, so here what will happen? We'll be using something called AWS Cloud. Okay, AWS Cloud. So here we'll try to use some service from the AWS Cloud, like we'll be using something called EC2. EC2 instance. This is the virtual machine. Okay, virtual machine. So in this virtual machine, we'll be executing our application. So that means what will happen if, let's say, you as a developer, let's say this is you are the developer. Whenever you are committing your code to the GitHub, so this GitHub action will detect that. Okay, detect if there is a new update or not. If there is an update, so it will trigger the CI/CD, let's say, pipeline, and your entire source code will try to build as a Docker image. Okay, let's say code will try to build as a Docker image. So here we'll be using Docker for that, and this image will try to save in a service called ECR, Elastic Container Registry. So this is like a Docker hub. Okay, so this image will store in the ECR, and from the ECR we'll try to pull this image to the EC2. Okay, and in the EC2 we'll do some port mapping. Okay, we'll do some port mapping, and after that this will release the IP address, and in this IP address your application will run, so that user can use your application. Okay, user can use your application. So this is the entire idea. So that means it will be connected like that. Okay, so this is the entire CI/CD pipeline we'll try to develop, guys. It will be more clear whenever I will go with the practical. So I believe that you will be able to understand. Okay, yeah. All right, so now let's start the development. Okay, so how we can develop, guys? First of all, here the first thing we'll try to create the GitHub repo. Every project, it's a good practice to create a GitHub repo. Okay, always. because in industry people use GitHub. If you are working in a team, so they would prefer to commit their code in the GitHub, and to build the CI/CD we also need the GitHub. So GitHub repo is important. After that, we'll try to create the project template, that means folder structure. Then after that, we'll try to do the project setup. We'll try to create the virtual environment, we'll try to install the requirements, okay, package and each and everything. Then after that, we'll try to do the notebook experiment. Okay, Jupyter notebook experiment, because it is a good practice before implementing the modular coding. First of all, try to experiment in the Jupyter notebook. If Jupyter notebook is working fine, then try to convert this thing as a modular coding. Okay, once Jupyter notebook is working, we'll try to create the modular coding. Modular code. Okay, so once modular code is built, we'll try to create the app. Okay, web app. So here I can write web app. And once web app is built, we'll try to do the deployment. Okay, so this is the entire idea, guys. So this step we'll try to follow one by one. So let's try to do the first step, GitHub repository creation. So before starting, guys, I want the confirmation from you. Are you ready, guys? Let me know. Can I start? Are you ready? If you're ready, please give me a like, any kinds of emoji in the chat, so that I can get the confirmation you are ready and I can start the development, guys. Please. And also hit the like in this session, all of you. And also hit the subscribe button. Yeah. Great. So let's continue. So I'll open up my GitHub. All of you, you can open up your GitHub accounts. Okay, all of you, you can open up your GitHub accounts. Make sure you have the GitHub accounts. If you don't have, just try to create it. Okay. Yeah. And after that, just try to click on the profile, go to the repository section. And here you will see one option called new repository. Okay, so let's try to click here. So here you can give the project name. So here I will try to give what name I can give. Maybe I can use the same session name. Okay, same session name maybe I can use. So this is the name. Okay, so after that, let's keep it public, because I want everyone, you can access this repo. I'll add the readme file and git ignore. So here we are using Python programming language. So you have to search for the Python and the license. Okay, you can take any kinds of license. There are so many licenses are available. So let's say I'll take this Apache license. Okay. Yeah. So now let's create the repository, guys. Okay. Yeah, I will also do that. Code with Ramesh. LangGraph series also I'll try to start. No need to worry. Fine. So my repository is created. Now the second step, we have to clone this repository in my local. How to clone? There is a button called code. Just try to click here and copy this link address. Okay. Make sure you copy this HTTPS link address and open up your local folder. So here you can see I have an empty folder. Inside that, I'm going to open up my git bash. So here, guys, you need some tool. Okay, let me write what are the tools you need. So here, the first tool you need, the Anaconda distribution. So I think all of you have the Anaconda, guys. Let me know. Yes or no, Anaconda, right? Then the second tool you need something called git bash. Okay. And the third tool you need Microsoft VS Code. Yeah, so these three software you have to download. And how you can download, just go to the Google and search for, let's say, Anaconda. You need Anaconda. Just Go to this link anaconda.com/download/success. Okay, if you open it up, so here you will be getting the link to download the Anaconda software. Let me show you. So see, so here is the free download. So you can either download for the Windows, Mac, and Linux. Okay, so here if you click, so it will download, and after that just try to install it, do next, and install the software the way you install any kinds of software. And once it is installed, you can search for the Anaconda. You will see this particular option called Anaconda prompt. Okay, don't open the navigator. We don't use the navigator, we need the prompt. Okay, now if I open the prompt, so that's how you'll be getting this particular prompt. Okay, now here you can execute any kinds of conda command. Okay, conda related command you can execute. Okay, yeah. Now the second tool you need, Git. So to install the Git, just try to search Git SCM. Git SCM, the first website, open it up and download it. So those who are using macOS, I think you already have Git install in your terminal. Just try to check, just write Git command. If it is working, that means you already have. Otherwise, you can install it. Okay. So for Windows guys, you can download this exe file. After that, do next and install it. And once it is installed, just search for the Git here. Okay, Git. So you'll see something called Git bash. If I open it up, so this is my Git bash, and here I can execute any kinds of Git related commands. Okay. Yeah. So once it is done, then you need something called VS Code. So you can search for VS Code download. Open the first website. Here is the VS Code guys. Okay. So with respect to your operating system, just try to install it. So see, Windows, then Linux, then macOS. Okay. So click here, do the next. Okay. Install it. And once you install, you can search for VS Code. It would be available like that. Okay. Yeah. So try to install these three tools guys, because we need it. So now right now what I will do, I'll just try to go back to my local folder, and here I'm going to open up my Git bash. Okay, how to open it up? You can go to the show mode option, and you can see something called this one. See, for me it is a little bit different because I integrated Git bash in my terminal. Okay, Windows terminal. So there is a tool you will be getting in Microsoft Store called Windows Terminal. Okay, you can install it, and you can also integrate your Git bash with that. Okay, so I already integrated. And how to integrate, for this you can take some help from the internet. So there are some tutorial you can follow to connect your Git bash with your Windows terminal. So this will give you some good looking terminal. Okay, see, it's not like that you have to use this terminal. Okay, you can use it. If you want to customize your terminal, you can use it. Okay, for me, I already did the customization. That's why I got a good looking terminal here. Extremely sorry guys. Yeah. So if you want this kinds of good looking terminal, you can install this Microsoft terminal, and here you can integrate multiple, let's say terminal. Okay, multiple, let's say command prompt you can integrate here. So let's say in a single terminal, I can open up my Anaconda, I can open up my Azure shell. Okay, I can open up my Ubuntu, let's say terminal. So in a single one, I can open any kinds of thing. So this is the convenient to use this Microsoft terminal. Okay, so let me close all of them. I don't need. Yeah, I have my Git bash here. Now here you have to write a command. Okay, what command? The command is, let me zoom my screen. I think you can see that, git clone. Okay, git clone. Now the link you have copied from the GitHub, you have to paste it. How you can paste it? Just do the right click operation. Okay, so it is showing so many options because I have to copy it again. So I'll go back, copy the link address. I'll open up my terminal, and let's write the command git clone, paste it here. Yeah, so now if I hit enter, now see, this repo has been cloned guys. Okay, this repo has been cloned. So maybe I can change the view. So see, this repo has been cloned. Now what you have to do, you have to go inside this particular folder. Now how we can go? For this, just write this command cd and give the name of the folder. So the folder name is build a complete medical chatbot. So if you just write BUI and press tab, it will autocomplete. Okay, you don't need to even write everything. Just press tab, it will autocomplete, and press enter. Now see, you are inside this particular folder. Now you are inside this particular folder. Okay, now if you want to see the content inside that, you can use this ls command. Okay, ls means list everything inside that. So this is the convenient for this particular git bash. Okay, you can execute bash script here. Okay, personally for the development, I like bash script a lot, guys. Okay, so with a command, actually you can create everything, you can execute everything, you can, let's say, customize everything. All right, so that's why I personally use git bash for my development. So if you want, you can also do the configuration like me. Okay, now let me clear the terminal. So here I can execute almost all kinds of Linux command. Okay, if you want to create a folder, I can use a touch command. Sorry, if I want to create a file, I can use a touch command. If I want to create a folder, I can use mkdir. Okay, mkdir. So these are the Linux related command I can execute at the end. Okay, yeah. And if you want to learn Linux, guys, like how you can use Linux commands, okay, in the production environment. So for this, I already created a MLOps playlist, MLOps playlist. Okay, you can see MLOps in one video. I think it's a 12 hours video. You can also go through that if you want to understand the MLOps works. Okay, let's say how you can use the Linux, how you can use the Git and GitHub. Okay, each and everything I have already discussed here. Okay, yeah. So here I'm showing you the actual development, okay, how things works. So I can also create everything manually. I can open my command prompt, but I'm not using that because I want to give you the actual development flavor. Okay, yeah, my personal taste actually I want to share with you. That's why I'm using these kinds of tools, guys. Fine. All right. So now I want to open up my Visual Code Studio in this particular directory. Okay, now how to open it up? Just do the right click, click on show more options, and here you will see something called open the VS Code. Let's open up my VS Code here. Okay, now I'll zoom little bit because I want everyone to see that. Yeah, I think my screen is visible. Okay, and recently the in the new VS Code you will see they have added something called Copilot. I think you have used something called cursor ID, guys. Okay, cursor ID. In cursor ID also you will be getting these kinds of AI integrated. That means AI assistant integrated. So here if you give any kinds of command, it will let's say do the work with respect to that. Let's say if you give I want to create a folder, or let's say I want to create a file, or let's say debug my code, generate a code, everything it can do. So this particular functionality, that means the Copilot functionality, they have also added here. Okay, now I think this is some of the model they will give for the free, but if you want to use it for the, let's say, pro level, at that time maybe you have to subscribe their subscription plan. Okay, but we don't need the Copilot. We'll try to remove this. Yeah, so this is my Visual Code Studio. All right, so successfully we have created our GitHub repo, and we opened it with our VS Code. Now the next thing, we'll try to create the project template right now. Okay, so project template either you can create manually. So there you can see the file option, folder option. You can click here, you can create the folder structure manually. But I feel like manual creation is always a hard task, because you have to create manually. Let's say you need multiple folders and file, you have to do again and again the same thing. So what I usually do, I use something called bash script to create my folder structure. Okay, either you can use the Python script, either you can use the bash script. Okay, so let me show you how I use the bash script. So for this, I'll create a file here called template.sh. okay, template.sh file. Inside that, I'm going to write my bash script to create my folder structure. Okay, so let me write. So here, first of all, I want to create a src folder. For this is the command I'm going to use, mkdir. Sorry, mkdir. That means make directory. Now you have to give the -p parameter, and you have to give the folder name. So the folder name I want to use called src. Okay, src. Then the second folder I want to create something called resource. So again, what I can do, I can use the same command. Only the name would be different. So resource. Okay, yeah. Now inside the folder, okay, so here I can maybe make a comment just to make you understand. So here I'm creating directories. Okay, directory, and here I'll be creating the file. creating files. Okay, now to create the file, this is the command. You can use the touch command. Okay, touch. Now what file you want to create and in which folder? Let's say I want to create a file inside src folder. Okay, so I'll give the folder location src slash the file name. First of all, I'll be creating a constructor file called underscore underscore init underscore underscore dot py. Then I'm going to create another file inside the same folder called touch src slash the file name should be helper dot py. Okay, then I'm going to create another file inside that called prom.py. Okay, prom.py. Then I need another file called .env because here I'm going to mention my environment secret. Let's say I want to use the OpenAI model. For this I need OpenAI secret. I need I want to use Pinecone. I need Pinecone secret. So to manage that I need this env file. Okay, then I also need something called setup file. So touch setup.py. Then I need something called app.py. So touch app.py. Okay, then I need something called experiment file inside my research. So what I can do, I can again write touch research. Okay, inside research I want to create something called trials. Okay, dot ipynb notebook file. Then I also want to create a requirements file. Okay, touch requirements dot txt. Then I need what I need another file. Okay, so as of now I'm not able to get what file I need, but later on if I need anything else I'll try to create. Okay, so once everything is created I will give a terminal message. I'll just give a echo command. So here I'll give a message like directory and files created successfully. Okay, so this is the message I'm going to give. Fine. So this is my bash script, guys, I have written. Now if I want to execute this bash script, so make sure you open up your git bash. Okay, you open up your git bash. So those who are already using macOS or Linux, so they don't need to use the git bash because you already have the bash terminal with you. So you can execute this command called hs and the file name, so template.hs. Okay, now see the magic, guys. Left hand side I don't have anything. Now if I execute, automatically the folder structure would be created. So see, guys, my folder structure got created. Now you can see, so this is the folder research. Inside that I created this trials.ipynb file. It is available. Now src is a folder. Inside that I have this three file: init, helper, prompt. Okay, now this is my .env file and app.py, requirement.txt, setup.py. Each and everything is there. Okay, so that's how I always like to create these kinds of files and folder in an automated way. Okay, yeah, hi Krishan, hello. I hope you got it, guys. Okay, how we can create the folder structure, okay, with the help of bash script. Now let's commit the changes in my GitHub. So I'll open up the terminal. Let's clear it. Okay, yeah. Now here to commit to the GitHub, first of all do the adding stage. So just write git add space dot. Okay, so you are giving everything in a staging area. After that you have to do the commit. So git commit -m. So here I can write folder structure added. Then I will do the push operation. So git push origin main. So this is my main branch, you can see. Okay, now if I execute, so it should push everything. Yeah, done. Now if I clear, now if I go to the my GitHub, let me close these other tab, not required. Now if I refresh, so see, guys, my folder structure is updated here. Okay, Now this is the URL, guys, I'm giving in the chat so that everyone can get the code from here. Okay, even I will also add this link in my description section, okay, after the session. From there you can get it. All right. Okay, so that means now this step is also complete. Project template. Okay, so this step is also complete. Now let's try to create complete the third one, project setup. Now we'll try to do the project setup. So first of all, here you have to create a virtual environment, guys. This is recommended if you're starting any project, instead of doing everything in the base environment. Because if I show you my base environment, if I just write, let's say pip list, so there are so many packages already installed in my base environment, but I don't want them, okay, all of them. And there is a specific Python version also in the base environment. See, these are the packages I already have. And now if I show you the Python version, so this is 3.12, but let's say you want to use any other Python version. So how to do that? So for this you have to create a virtual environment, and for this let me share you the command you can follow to create the virtual environment. So here is the step. Okay, here is the step. So first step, just try to clone my repo, guys. If you are following my code, just try to clone my repo. Here you can give the repo link, so maybe I can provide the repo link here. So here I'll copy the link and let me just replace it here. So this is the repo link you can clone. Then after that, here I can write the command git clone. Okay, git clone this link. Then the step, you have to create the virtual environment. Okay, and this is the command to create the virtual environment. Okay, so here you have to execute conda create -n. Okay, medibot. So here the name of the environment I'm giving medibot. You can give any kinds of name, it's up to you. And the Python version I'm using 3.10. You can also use 3.11, 12. Okay, it's up to you. So this is the command you have to copy and you have to execute. So let me first of all check whether I have this environment or not. So conda env list. So medibot, yeah, it is already there. I already created that, so I'm not going to create it again, guys. Okay, but if you don't have, create it. Okay, just try to execute this command first of all of you. Execute this command. Okay, so once you execute it, your environment would be created. After that, you have to activate the environment. Okay, how to activate? This is the command. So copy the command and execute it here. Now see, previously it was base, now it has activated with my medibot. Got it? So for me, I already have the environment because I already created this environment before the session. Okay, yeah, and I already activated. Now let me clear the terminal. Fine. So once you have created the environment successfully, now you have to install the requirements. Now you need some requirement package to implement this project. I think you remember I written the tech stack, right? So I written the tech stack here. So you need some package like LangChain, Pinecone, Flask, right? So let me mention all of the in the requirements. So here what I'll do, I'll write everything in my requirements. So first thing, guys, I need LangChain as an orchestration framework. So let me LangChain. And here I'm going to use a specific version of LangChain. So here I'll be using 0.3.26. Okay. Now you can ask me why this version, because this is the stable version I usually use, because here you will be getting you won't be getting any kinds of error, because the project I have designed, I created with this LangChain version. Okay, so that's why I'm using this particular LangChain. You can also use the updated one, but what happens if you're using updated one, sometimes there would be some dependency added. So it's better to use any older version. Older version is always stable. That's why I'm using the older version. Then I need the Flask, okay, to create my front end and back end. And here I'll be using a specific version. So I'll be using something called 3.1.1, this version. Then after that, I need sentence transformer, because I told you we'll be using the open source embedding model, which is available in the Hugging Face. For this, you need this library, sentence transformer. And I'll be using this specific version called 4.1.0. Okay. After that, I need PyPDF, because we'll be loading the PDF documents. So for this, we need this package, PyPDF. And again, I'm going to use a specific version. So 5.6.1. Okay. So it's a good practice, guys. Just try to mention the version of the package. So let's say you are executing the project after 2 months, after 1 month. So you will be installing the same version and you can execute the project. Otherwise, what will happen? This package will update it and you will be getting a dependency error. And the same thing people already got in my previous implementation I did, right? So that's why it's better to use the specific version of the package, okay, always. And you also share the version with your other developers, so they can install and they can execute your project, okay, without having any kinds of error. Now I need the python.env to manage my env file. So here I can write .env and I need a specific version, so 1.1.0. okay. Then I need the Pinecone, okay, and Pinecone is already available inside LangChain, so I can install like that. So LangChain Pinecone, okay, and I want to install a specific version 0.2.8. Then I need LangChain OpenAI, because we'll be using the OpenAI model from the LangChain, and here I'm going to install this version 0.3.24. Then I need LangChain community as well, because this community you need as a dependency. So LangChain community, and again I'm going to install a specific version 0.3.26 I can use here. And for the setup.py file, I need to add this command -e space dot. Okay. Yeah. Now in the setup.py, you can mention the setup related code. So let me import. So from setup tool, import, I need find packages and I need something called setup. Okay. Yeah. Then after that, here I'm going to initialize the setup. So inside that, I'm going to first of all mention the name of the project. So Medical Chatbot. Then the version of the project, let's say this is 0.1.0, and the author name. So author name, maybe I can give my name. Dear Ahmed. By the way, I'm using Copilot in my VS Code. That's why it's giving me the code suggestion. Okay. Yeah. Then I have to mention the author email. So here I can give my email entbuppy73@gmail.com. Then after that, I can mention this packages is equal to find package. So what it will do, it will try to find this constructor file. So wherever it will see the constructor file, this folder it will install as a local package. Okay. Yeah. Now there is another parameter you have to mention called install requires, and this should be empty. Okay. So it will automatically take all of the let's say requirements from the requirements, and it will try to install them. Okay. Yeah. So this is my setup.py. Okay. And this will help you to install any kinds of folder as a local package, because here we'll be following the modular coding. We'll try to import some function from different module, right? For this setup.py is required. Yeah. Now let me save everything and we'll try to install the requirement now. So for this, This is the command pip install -r requirement.txt. I'll copy and let's execute it here. So see, for me, it is already done because previously I already installed everything. The dependency, it's completed for me. But for you, it will take some time, okay? Yeah, so yeah, I think everything is fine. Setup.py. Yeah, so okay, one thing, there should not be any space, okay? -e space dot. -e space dot. Now let me execute the requirements file again. Yeah, now you can see one egg info file has created. That means your setup tool has been installed successfully. Okay, fine. Now let me clear the terminal. So I believe guys still here you understood everything. Let me know. Okay, so now let's commit the changes. See, I can also commit from my VS Code. So here I can give, let's say, requirements added. Seeing the changes, so it will automatically push everything in my GitHub. Now if I show you, so if I go to my GitHub, refresh, so see, everything is available here. Now you can copy the comment and you can use it. All right, so that means my this part is also ready. Project setup is also ready. Okay, now let's do the notebook experiment. Okay, first of all, we'll try to create the entire project on my Jupyter notebook. Then once if I feel like okay everything is working, then I'll try to start the modular coding and web app, then deployment. Okay, this is the idea. So for this, so what I will do, I'll just try to close these are the file. Yeah. Now here you remember, I think I created a notebook file inside research folder. Let's open it up. Let's take some code cell and I have to select my terminal. Okay, that sorry, select my environment I created. So click on select kernel, Python environment, and here you will see the Medibot. Okay, I'll try to select this one. Now just for testing, I'll give a print message. Print okay. So yeah, so everything is working fine. All right. Now let's start the development, guys. Okay, so I'll do everything in the Jupyter notebook. Yeah. So first of all, I need the data. Okay, I need the data. So let's create a folder here. I'm going to name it as data. Inside that, I'm going to move my PDF documents I have. These medical books. I'll copy and in the data folder, I'll try to paste it. I'll also share these books with you guys in my GitHub. You can take it from there. So this is the PDF documents I have. But currently, if I show you my project working directory, okay, if I show you my project working directory, pwd. So I'm inside the research folder. Okay, I'm inside the research folder, which is this folder right now. But my data, it is present inside the data folder. That means out of the research folder. Okay, so if I want to load the data, first of all, I have to get back to the project directory. That means in this directory. Okay, in this directory, then I'll be able to access the data. For this, what I can do, I can use a command. So import operating system, and inside OS there is a function called chdir. Now inside that you have to give dot dot slash. Okay, dot dot slash means you want to get back one folder back. Okay, now if I execute, and again if I show you my project working directory, now see guys, I'm inside my root folder right now, project working folder. Previously I was in the research, but right now I'm inside my project folder. Okay, Now I can easily load the data right now. But before that, I need to import some library. So I need PDF loader from the LangChain. So I'll just import LangChain dot documents loader. Okay, import py pdf loader and the directory loader as well. Okay, then I need from LangChain dot text splitter, I need recursive character text splitter for the chunking operation. Okay, so recursive character text splitter. Yeah, so let me import them. Now here I'm going to create a function to load my PDF. So let's create a function. So extract text from PDF files. So def load and load. Let me just give it as load PDF files. Okay, PDF underscore files. Now it will take the PDF path, that means the data path, and what it will do, it will try to load it. So loader is equal to directory loader, and inside that you have to give the data, that means the path of the PDF. Okay, and you have to also mention globe. Okay, globe parameter, because I want to only load the PDF. Okay, not any other file. So here I can give like that. So dot PDF only. Okay, so in this directory, in the data folder, so if you have multiple PDF also, it will try to load that. Okay, so let's say you want to use 3 books. That time you can keep 3 books here and give the data folder location. It will try to load all of the PDF files. So because here you have mentioned .pdf. Okay, it should load all of the PDF. Okay, .pdf file. And loader class, I have given py-pdf loader because this is a PDF documents, and to load it, I need py-pdf loader from the LangChain. Okay, that's it. So once my loader is ready, so here now I can load it easily. So documents is equal to loader.load. Once it is loaded, I'll try to return it. So return documents. Okay, that's it. Now let me test whether it's working or not. So here I can write extracted data is equal to load PDF files, and here I'm going to give my data path. Okay, this folder path, and now it should load the data. So let me execute. So this is a very big page, right? A very big book. So that's why it's taking some time to load the data. Now, if I show you this extracted data, now see guys, all of the page it has loaded. Okay, and the format is document format because LangChain always written document format. Okay, so all of the page guys it has loaded. Okay, all of the page it has loaded. Now, how many page you have here? You can also see the length. So here I can show you the length of extracted data. So 637. So maybe you can see we also have 637 pages. Okay, yeah, so that means perfectly we're able to load all of the pages. Now these pages has some other information as well, like meta information, like producer, creator, time. Okay, then mod date, source, total pages. Okay, page label, then the page content. Okay, so here this is the important things, page content, because page content is having all of the information. So I don't need all of these metadata. I need maybe some of the metadata. Maybe let's say I need the source, like what is the source of this PDF and the page content. Okay, so for this I will do a filter operation. Okay, I'll do a filter operation. So let's do a filter operation. So let's create a function. So for this I'm going to import some library, import typing, import list. Then I need something called LangChain schema documents. Okay, so LangChain dot schema import documents. So here I'm going to create a function called filter to minimal docs. Minimal docs. So this will take your, let me show you guys. This is the function. Okay, this is the function. So this will take the entire documents, okay, and it will only return the source and the page content of the source, okay, because I don't need all of the information. Okay, all of the information, it is not required for your project. Now let me show you the output. So I will call this minimal docs is equal to filter to minimal docs, and here I'll give my extracted data. Now if I execute, now see guys, here it will only return me the source and the page content, source, the page content, okay, because I already get rid of everything which is unnecessary here. Okay, so that's how we can do some filter operation, guys. You have to make your data clean. Yep. Sir, can we implement this same system for the college chatbot? Yes, you can do it. What is the minimal hardware requirement for the system will to work for GPU RTX 30? Yes, system requirement wise, if you also have CPU system, it will work, because here we are using OpenAI provider. Okay, we are not using any open source LLM, which is downloading from the Hugging Face. Open source LLMs will be using the embedding model only. So if you don't have GPU also, it will work fine. Namaste sir. Sir, I want to make my career in computer vision related technology. How should I move ahead to the knowledge like you? Please provide a detailed roadmap. Please, yeah. Manish, for this, start watching my computer vision playlist. Okay, so there I already given you some roadmap. What are the things you should know to start with the computer vision career? Okay, and if you need any personal guidance, just try to reach out to my LinkedIn profile. Yeah. So guys, my filter is done. Now what I will do? Okay, now what I will do, because yeah, so data load is done. We have successfully extracted the data. So if I show you this architecture, so we had the PDF book, we extracted all of the documents. Now we'll do the chunking operation. Okay, so let's do the chunking. So for this, let's create a function. Before that, I'll try to comment. So split the documents into the smaller chunks. So def text split, let's name it as split. So it will take my minimal docs and it will do the chunking operation. Okay, so how to perform the chunking? So this is the code. So recursive character test splitter, I think remember we imported, and here we are giving the chunk size. Okay, so let's give the chunk size is equal to 500. That means 500 tokens it will consider as a one chunks, and here you have to give the chunks overlap. So let's give 20. So there are some overlap value you also need to give, because it will understand the context. Okay, with that, then here you have to remove it. I don't need it. Yeah. Then text splitter, split documents. Here you have to give the minimal docs, and it will return the chunk text. Okay, so here I can write. It will return me something called text chunks. Chunk. Okay, text chunks. So I'll try to return it. That's it. Now let me call the function. So here text chunk is equal to text split. Inside that I'll pass my minimal docs. Okay, and this will give you the chunks. So let me print the number of chunks I got here. Okay, yeah, so now let me execute. So see guys, here I got 5,859 chunks. Okay, so if you want to see all of the chunks, you can also print it. So see guys, this is the chunks you got. Now this documents has converted as a chunks. Okay, small chunks, and each chunks will have 500 tokens. Okay, because you have mentioned here. Okay, now I can easily pass this data to my model, but before that, what I have to do, I have to do the embeddings. Okay, now here you can see guys, I have to use the embedding model to generate the vector embedding. That vector embedding will try to store in the knowledge base. So let's get the embedding model first of all. So for this, I'll be using Hugging Face embedding model. So let's import it. So from LangChain embeddings. Okay, import Hugging Face embeddings. Okay, I'll try to import it. Now let's write a function. So download embedding. So here I will give the model name. So this is the model, guys, I'm going to use. So sentence transformer all mini LMs L6v2. So this is an embedding model and it returns 384 dimensional dense vector. Okay, so let's try to load this model. So here I have to give the model name. Yeah, so now embedding is equal to Hugging Face embedding model name, and these things I don't need to pass. Okay, yeah, now it should download the model from the Hugging Face hub. So let's try to download it. So embedding is equal to download embedding. Now let's execute. So see, guys, it is downloading the model from the Hugging Face app. What is the size of the model? You can also see here. You can go to the files and version. So it's around, I think, 3 to 400 MB. Okay, now it is getting downloaded. So see, it got downloaded, okay, for me. And this is the object of the embedding model. Okay, so this is the model. Now let's test this model whether it's works or not. So for this I will use this embedding model, and let's do a embed query operation. Here I will give a sentence. Let's say I'll give hello world. Okay, and this will return you some vectors. So vector. Now let's print the vector as well. So this is the vector, guys, you can see. Okay, this is the sentence and this is the vector representation of this sentence. Now if you want to see the dimension, so you can also see the dimension. So print vector length of the vector. So see, it's 384 dimensional vector. The things they have also mentioned in the model card. See, okay, and this is completely open source embedding model. Now you can also use any Hugging Face embedding model. You can also use any other embedding model from any other provider. It's up to you. You already know about the basics. Okay, how we can load different model from with the help of this LangChain. It's possible. Yeah, I used because see, at the end embedding model is costly. So if you are using OpenAI embedding model, and if you convert all of the text from this given book, so it will charge you more. So that's why I thought let's use free embedding model so that you won't be having charge in your account. Okay, that's why. Yeah. Okay, so now what I will do, guys, I'll try to store this vector to the Pinecone vector database. Okay, and for this you need the Pinecone index. That means in Pinecone you have to create a cluster. So let's open up our Pinecone, because Pinecone runs on cloud. You have to search like that, pinecone.io. This is the website. Let's log in with my account. So make sure first of all you have to create an account, guys. Okay, just try to sign up, and with your Gmail just try to create an account. For me, I already have the account, so I'll try to log in. So I'll log in with my Google account. So let's select my email. What about images? Are we embed those only text? No, see here images is not required. So this see, images is not required. So here I need the information. I need the diagnosis. I need the disease. I need the medicine. Image is not required, Nikhil. Okay, yeah. But I will also show you another project. So there I will also show you, let's say in a PDF, if you also have some meaningful image, meaningful tables, meaningful graph. So how you can create a rag on top of that. You can also take those images, you can also take those graph, and you can also convert it to the number. I will also show you that part. Okay, but this project we don't need the image, we only need the text. Got it? Yeah. So here what I will do here, let's try to create an index. This is my account. I'll create an index. So you don't need to create the index, either you can also create a manually, either you can create a programmatically. Okay, so here we are using Python programming, so everything will try to create a programmatically. Okay, we are not going to create manually here. So see, initially I have one index running because this is another project actually I developed. So let's create a new index, but for you it would be completely empty if you're logging for the first time, guys. Okay, we'll be deploying on the AWS. Yeah. So first of all, you need the Pinecone API key. So why do you will get the API key? So left hand side you will see there is an option called API key. Just try to click here, and here you can create an API key. Let's create API key. I'll give, let's say, medical bot. Create the key. So this is my key. I'll copy, and I'll try to mention in my .env file. So here you have to write like that. Pinecone API key. So here I'll try to paste my API key. So make sure, guys, you use your API key. Okay, don't use my API key because I'm going to remove after the session. And here you also need to mention your OpenAI API key. So OpenAI API key. So let me mention my OpenAI API key. I already created my OpenAI API key, guys. I'm not going to show you because people will use that. Let me quickly add it. So this is my OpenAI API key, guys. Okay, let me save it. Now I will go back and load it here. So I think you got it, guys, how to create the Pinecone API key. Okay, and you have to mention in the .env file. Now I have to load it with my python.env install. I think you remember here, python.env. With the help of that, we'll try to load it. So how to load it? So first of all, you have to import it. So from .env, import load env, and you also need operating system, then load env. Okay, so this will load your env file. Then you can access this credential. Okay, so for this you can write this code. So Python, I'll open it up. Pinecone API key is equal to was.getEnv Pinecone API key. Okay, and similar wise I also need my OpenAI API key. OpenAI API key. Okay, yeah. So once I got everything, I also need to set as a environment variable. How to set? Just write this code was.environ Pinecone API key and Pinecone API key. Then I will also do it for my OpenAI as well. So OpenAI API key, OpenAI API key. Okay. So once everything is ready, now let me execute. Yeah. So it is set already. Now let me import the Pinecone. Okay. So from Pinecone, okay, import Pinecone. Then here you have to pass the Pinecone API key. So Pinecone underscore API underscore key is equal to the Pinecone API key. Pinecone, it should be Pinecone. Yeah. Then I'll try to first of all authenticate my Pinecone account. So for this you have to write this code. So Pinecone client, you have to initialize the Pinecone client, and you have to give the API key here. So API key is equal to by Pinecone API key. Okay. So if you execute this code, it will authenticate with your Pinecone account. So this should be executed perfectly, guys. Okay. If it is not executing perfectly, that means there is some issue with your API key. Okay, so for me, it has executed successfully. Now here, what I will do, I'm going to create an index there. That means I'm going to create a database. So for this, let's import Pinecone, import serverless. So this is the update, guys. Okay, so those who have already watched my previous implementation, so there I was using in a different way. Maybe I was using something called Pinecone environment also, but now right now this has been changed. So you have to import something called serverless specification. Then you have to give the index name. So index underscore name is equal to, so let's say index name I'm going to give Medical Chatbot. So once it is ready, now let's create the index. So for this I'm going to write a condition. If not my Pinecone client doesn't have any index, okay, that time I will pass my index name. Then let's create it. So pc dot create index. Inside that you have to give the index name. Name is equal to index name. Then you have to specify the dimension. Okay, dimension of the vector. So right now the embedding model we are using called sentence transformer, and it returns 384 dimensional vector. I think you already saw that, right? So here I think you remember. So this is the vector size 384. So this dimension you have to provide here. Okay, then you have to give the matrix, the similarity matrix you want to use here. So I'm going to use something called cosine. Okay, cosine matrix I'm going to use, cosine similarity. Then you have to specify the specification. So spec is equal to serverless specification. So cloud I'm going to use AWS, and region I'm going to use US East 1. So US East 1. Yeah. So once it is done, now let's create the index. So index is equal to pc.index and index name. Okay. Okay, so there is an error I'm getting. The error is okay, I had to give a comma here. Yeah, now fine. Now let me save. Now see guys, here it will create an index for you. Okay, it will create an index for you in the database. And this is the free tier. So here you will be getting storage is equal to 2 GB, and this is the RUs and WUs. Okay, and if you need some more, let's say powerful, or let's say if you want to store some more vectors, that time you can upgrade their plan. But this is fine for us. Okay, so now I think we are ready to create the index. Now let me execute. So it should successfully create the index, but there is an error. Invalid matrix cosine must be cosine. Okay, so cosine, I think spelling is not correct. Let me check. Yeah, consine. Okay, sorry, it should be cosine. Now if I execute, it should create. Again one error. Pinecone object no attribute index. Okay, I think I should be capital. Now index is created. Now if I come here, if I refresh, so see guys, my medical chatbot index has created and it is running. Now if I click here, so see, it is running guys, and currently there is no records now because we haven't pushed any records yet. Okay, now we have to push the records. How to decide what would be the best vector dimensions for any use case? See, always if vector dimension is high, that means there are more information in the vector. So if you're using OpenAI embedding model, so that time vector dimension will increase. That means it has more depth information about the data. So definitely the higher dimensional embedding model would be better instead of using the lower dimensional. Okay, but we got stuck that if possible to make learn only the format structure of the documents like a level of letter no content. Okay, so just say what db chroma pinecone etc. What embedding method, please. See, you can use any embedding method. Okay, it doesn't matter with any kinds of vector database. Okay, you can either use ChromaDB, I can use Pinecone, I can use Web8, I can use Flask. It's completely up to you. So here I'm using Pinecone because I love the Pinecone. It has one beautiful web interface. You can also visualize your vector. So yeah, so that's why I'm using. You can also use ChromaDB. ChromaDB is it's the local one. You have to execute in the local. Yeah, so that's why. All right, guys. Hmm. Okay, so my index is created. Now we are ready to store our vector. Okay, now let's try to store our vector. So for this, I will write the code. So first of all, let's import. So from LangChain underscore Pinecone, import Pinecone vector store. Okay, so there is a function called Pinecone vector store. I have to import it. Then let's create a variable called docsource. Okay, Pinecone vector store dot from documents. Okay, from documents, and inside that I'm going to store my documents. So documents is equal to my text chunks. Okay, the text chunks we created, and embedding model is equal to my embedding model, and the index name is equal to my index name. Okay, so these three parameters you have to pass. Okay, so once it is done, now if I execute, what it will do, it will take all of the text chunks, it will use the embedding model, and it will try to convert them to the vector embedding, and it will store in the Pinecone vector database. So it will take some time. Let's wait, guys, because here we are having almost 5,000 chunks. So we have to wait for that. Now if I come here, if you continuously refresh here, so you will be able to see the vector count. Okay, record count. So it will store one by one, and even you can also see the vector here. Okay, still because it takes some time to load. See, record count 3000. Okay, 3000 chunks it has already stored here, and you can see all of the chunks. Okay, you can see the ID. So this ID would be uniquely created. Then the source we have in the data. Then this is the text. Okay, and now this text is having the vector. So if you want to see the vector, click on fetch, and this is the vector, guys. This is the value. So this value we already got from the embedding model. Okay, and the dimension is 384. Now see, I will wait for all of my vector to be stored. So this is the beauty of Pinecone. You can visualize everything here, but in ChromaDB files you can't see that. So 5,000 almost, still executing. Let's wait. Got stuck in that is possible to make it learn only the format structure of a document like leave later, not the content. Uh, Re Pickle, actually, I'm not clear your question. Okay, what do you want to? I mean, why you got stuck for image? Got stuck in the possible to learn make it only format structure for documents level later, not. Please try to clarify the question. I'm not clear with that. Yeah. When you will complete the OpenCV course, computer vision course would be covered soon. Okay. Yeah. So now you can see, guys, all of the chunks has been stored. That means I have in total 5,859 chunks. So yeah, execution is also done. That means I'm able to successfully stored all of the chunks. Okay, and it has also converted to the vector representation. Got it? Yeah, fine. Now if you want to load any existing index, because right now we created the index and we have the object, right? Now let's say I want to only load this index and I want to continue my work. Okay, so how to do it? So for this you can use this code, load existing index. Okay, load existing index. So here you have Pinecone vector store. Inside that there is a function. See, previously I was using from document, now you have to use from existing index, and here you have to give the index name as well as the embedding model you are using. Okay, so what it will do, it will load any kinds of existing index. Okay, and it will load all of the vectors. So let's execute. Now again you can use this object to continue your work. Okay, so both I showed you. Either you can directly create and get the object, either you can load any kinds of existing index if you have in the Pinecone. Okay, yeah. Now if you want to add more data, so let me comment here because this part is also important, because many people ask this question. Add more data to the existing Pinecone index. Okay, so let's say we already have an index, right? We already have an index which is running here. Now let's say I want to store more data here, because let's say I got another PDF file, I got another books, and I want to store in the same let's say index. So how to do it? Okay, so for this let's create a dummy documents here. So I created a dummy documents. So let's say this is the dummy document. So this is the page content. So I have written like about my channel, DSwithBappy is a YouTube channel that provides a tutorial on various topics, and source is equal to YouTube. Okay, so let's say this documents I want to store to my existing index. So how to do it? For this you have to use this code, add documents. There is a function called add document, docsearch dot add documents, and here you have to give documents is equal to your documents inside a list. Okay, so if you pass it, now see if I execute, so this document would be added. Now this is the unique ID. I'll copy the ID. Now see, previously the count was 59, now it's 60. Now you can also search that ID. So let's say I will search that ID to find my new one. So see, DSwithBappy. Okay, so that's how, if you want, you can also add any kinds of existing, sorry, any kinds of new documents in the same index if you want. It's possible. Okay, like I want to make it learn a structure of documents such that to make this we need a from address and address subject and content, but it should not read the content of labels later. And if it contains images, the documents cannot parse using the ChromaDB with the llama embeddings. Yeah, if it has the image, so for this we have to use the image embedding. Okay, I'll also create a project on top of that. Okay, how we can handle the image tables, this thing as well. Got it, guys? So this thing I got lots of questions, sir, how I can add more data to the existing index. So that's how we can do. Okay, fine. So now here we are ready, guys. We already stored everything in the Pinecone, and this becomes my knowledge base. Now we'll try to create the retriever. That means we'll try to connect the LLM, and user will ask the question, we'll get the response. Okay, so for this let's create the retriever, and that's how we create the retriever, guys. So docsearch as retriever, there is a function called as retriever. See, docsearch as retriever, and search type is equal to similarity, and search keyword is equal to k is equal to 3. That means it will return you 3 relevant response, 3 most similarity response from the knowledge base. Okay, now let's try to test it. So for this, let's say I'll give a question here. I'll just write let's say retrieve docs is equal to retriever dot invoke. Okay, there is a function called invoke. Now let's see if I ask what is acne. Okay, so this will give you 3 different response. See, 3 response, 3 most similar response, and you can see the similarity score is also there. Each and every vector has this similarity score. Okay, this similarity score. So I'll try to refresh, maybe you'll be able to understand. So this is the beauty of Pinecone. See, this is the score. This is the score. Okay. So based on the score, actually it is returning you the 3 relevant response from this particular question. Now, this is not understandable for us. Okay. I want to, let's say, I want to refine this response with my LLM right now. Now let's try to connect the LLM. So for this, I will import the LLM. So from LangChain, LangChain, OpenAI, import chat OpenAI. Okay, so here I'm going to use the GPT-4 model. So chat model is equal to chat OpenAI. So model is equal to GPT 4. Okay, let's use 4O model. Okay, 4O model. This model actually I'm going to use. Let's import it. Then after that, we'll try to create the chain, LangChain chain. Okay, so let's import some necessary library. So you can see, guys, I'm importing the create retrieval chain, create stuff document chain, and the chat prompt template. Okay, I already covered in my LangChain series in my generative AI video, guys. You can go ahead and check it out. Then I'll create a prompt template first of all. So this is my prompt template. So here I have written, you are an assistant for question answering task. You are following piece of retriever context to answer the question. If you don't know, say that you don't know, okay, use the 3 sentence maximum to keep the answer concise. Okay, so maybe you can also modify, you are an medical assistant for the question answering task. Okay, so here you can modify this prompt with respect to your requirement, guys. Okay, the way you actually want the response. Then here I'm creating the prompt template, and here I'm giving the system prompt as well as whatever prompt user will try to pass, because this is a chat model I'm using, and chat model takes 2 input, system prompt as well as the user prompt. Okay, so this will become my prompt. Right now here I'm going to create a chain. So that's how we create the chain, guys. So create stuff document chain. You have to give the chat model and you have to pass the prompt. After that, create retrieval chain. So here you have to pass the retriever you created here, and you also need to pass the question answer chain. Okay, now this will become your RAG chain right now. Now here you can ask any kinds of question. So let's say here I will ask a question. So this is one kinds of disease, guys. Acromegaly and gigantism. You can search in the PDF. So let me show you. I'll open the PDF. I'll Control F and see, this is the disease. This is the disease. Okay, I'm asking about this particular disease, and whatever response I'm having, I'm getting the answer only. Now I think it should return me the correct response, guys, of this disease. See, this is a disorder caused by the abnormal release of the chemicals from the pituitary gland, leading to the increased growth in the bones and soft tissues. Okay, it occurs after bones growth has stopped. When this abnormality happens before growth steps, it results in gigantism characterized by unusual height. So you can see this is the disease. Okay, this is the disease they are talking about, this particular disease. Okay, that means my chatbot is working perfectly right now, and this is the power of RAG, guys. Okay, this is the power of RAG. Okay, now let's ask another question here. So I'll ask what is let's say acne. So acne is a common skin disease characterized by pimples on the face, chest and back. It occurs when the skin's pores become clogged with oil and dead skin cells and bacteria. The medical terms for the common acne is acne vulgaris. Okay, now let's say if I ask like what is the treatment of acne, so it should also suggest me the treatment, because in the PDF it has all kinds of information, the treatment, the diagnosis, okay, the medicine. So see, the treatment of the acne depends on the severity. For the mid-normalcy acne, see, this is the treatment it is suggesting. Okay, yeah. Now I think I also given the information about my channel DSwithBappy, so maybe it can also give the response. Let's say what is DSwithBappy. So I think it should give me the response. See, DSwithBappy is a YouTube channel that provides tutorials on various topic. Yeah, so that means my chatbot is perfectly working, guys. Okay, my notebook is perfectly working. There is no error. Now we are ready for the modular code implementation. Okay, so here this part is done. Now let's try to implement the modular coding. So till here, guys, everything is clear. Let me know. Please let me know, guys. If clear, please hit a like, all of you. If clear, please hit a like, all of you guys. Now we will be implementing the modular coding. Okay. And now we'll try to copy paste the same code from the notebook. Okay. Because the actual code we have already written. So writing modular coding is very easy right now. Okay. So let's implement the modular coding. Okay. So for this, first of all, I'll try to open up the helper.py. And inside that, I'm going to write, keep some of the function I used in the notebooks. Okay. So the first function, guys, I think remember we use this load PDF. Okay, load PDF, because it will load the PDF documents. Let me select my environment. This is Medibot. Okay, now this error will disappear. Yeah. Then the second function, the filter to minimal. See, the same code I'm copy pasting from my notebook, guys. I think remember. So here we have already written. So load PDF, then the filter to minimal. Okay. Then the third one, the split documents. That means the chunking. Okay. Then the fourth one, the download embedding model. So I'm downloading the sentence transformer model. Okay, that's it. So these are the function I will try to keep in the helper.py, because I want this function and then I don't want to write every time. So if I need it, I'll try to call from the helper.py itself. Okay, this is the idea. And I think remember we also created a prompt template here. So we'll try to keep the prompt in the prompt.py. So let's try to keep it. So this is the prompt. Okay, this is the prompt. So you are an medical assistant. Okay, so this will take the context. All right, so prompt is done, helper is done. Now first module will be writing for storing the vector in the knowledge base. Okay, so for this, let's create another file here. I'm going to name it as store underscore index.py. Okay, and here I'm going to copy paste the same code I written in the notebook. That means this part. So here, first of all, I'll load the documents, do the filtering. Then after that, we'll do the chunking. After chunking, we'll try to get the embedding model. After that, we'll try to convert to the vector embedding. That is create the Pinecone instance, then store as a vector embedding. Okay, so till here, we'll try to copy paste the same code. So this is the code, guys. Okay, so you can see I'm loading all the necessary library. From helper, I'm loading load PDF, filter, minimal docs, text split, unhanging face, then Pinecone serverless, okay, each and everything. Then loading the env file, then setting as environment variable, then loading the data, then filtering to the minimal, then performing the chunking, downloading the embedding model, then initializing the Pinecone, creating the index. Okay, so we already have the index name, right? So let's say I'll give the same name, Medical Chatbot. So this is the automated file, guys. Right now we have done everything with the help of this notebook, but right now I'll try to do with my Python script. Okay, this is the idea. So medical chatbots, it will create the index. After that, it will store all of the vector in the embedding. Okay, yeah. Now let me test this file, but before that, let me delete my existing index I have here. So I'll try to delete this medical chatbot. Let's delete it. Let's give the confirmation. Delete. Yeah, it's deleted. Now let's execute this store index.py to again create my index and store all of the vector as embedding. So Python store index.py. Okay, now if I execute, so again it will run all the pipeline one by one. And I'll come here and I'll try to wait for my vector. So it's getting executed. Let's wait, guys. Okay, it will take some time because again it will store all of the chunks. Okay, so it will take some time. Let's wait. Okay, medical chatbot is created. Now inside that it will store all of my vector. See, execution is going on. So that's how, guys, actual development happens. You have to go step by step, neat and clean code, and definitely a proper plan, proper architecture, and a selection of proper tool stack. So then you will be able to implement any kinds of system with any kinds of problem statement. Yeah, so 4,000 chunks has already stored. Let's wait for the execution. Free image embedding model. See, you can use this embedding model, clip bit, then tiny clip and nomic embed vision. Okay, it is available in the Hugging Face. Who is asking this question? Are Aripikel. What we have image in the PDF, for this we will be using another technique. Okay, multi-model technique, timeless. But this problem statement doesn't need any kinds of image. Okay, that's why we don't need it. Okay, my execution is completed. Now if I come here in my Pinecone, if I refresh, see all of my vector is present here. Okay, so right now it's 5.9 because I didn't store the DSwithBappy, because that one I did with my notebook. All right, so my index is working fine and we're able to store the index. Now right now we'll try to create the app.py. Okay, so now let's try to create my app.py, guys, because we are very close to our application right now. So here we'll be using the Flask, guys, and I think you know how to use the Flask. For this you need two folders. You need something called template and you need static. Okay, so let's create one by one. So here you need template. Okay, it should be templates. Okay, inside that you create the HTML file. So I'm going to name it as chat.html, and let's mention the HTML code here. See, I already created a basic user interface for you. So this is the HTML code for that. And if you are not familiar with HTML code, guys, it's completely fine. Okay, you can also generate with ChatGPT. You can there are some different template is also available, like chatbot free template, free HTML and CSS template. So there are some many website. Okay, they will provide you free template you can use. Okay, not this one, I think, free chatbot template. So see, like there are many website, so you can go to the website and you can collect the code. Okay, you can go to the website, you can collect the code. Okay, so that's how, guys, I implemented a basic template for you, and this is the HTML code for that. Okay, you can go through that. Then I need another folder called static, and inside that I'll keep the CSS file. That means for the designing, I'll try to keep the style.css. So let's create a file, style.css. Okay, so this is the CSS style. That means the color, style, okay, everything I have added here. Let me save. Yeah, now let me show you how this interface will look like, how the front end will look like. For this, let's launch my app.py. So First of all, I'm going to import all of the necessary library. Okay, so here you can see I'm importing Flask from different function, then download Hugging Face embedding model, Pinecone, Chat, OpenAI, then all the LangChain chain part. Okay, the things I imported in my notebook, everything I have imported here. And the from prompt also, I'm also importing all of the prompt. Okay, yeah. Now I'll first of all initialize my app.py, that means my Flask. So for this is the Flask initialization code. Okay, you can go to the Flask documentation, you will be able to understand how to initialize it. So once it is ready, now I'll try to create a basic route. That is my default route. So this is the default route. If you open the application, it will render the chat.html, and to execute the app, this is the code. So here I'm running on localhost port number 8080. Okay. Now let me show you guys how your app look like. So I'll open up my terminal, clear. So python app.py, it's running. So now let's open up my localhost. Localhost port number 8080. So this is the interface, guys. Okay, this is the chatbot interface. Okay, we'll be using. Thank you so much. Timeless talk. Maya, how to execute an AI idea from A to Z like a startup? Please make a series about that. Noted. Yeah. So guys, this is the interface. Okay, this is the interface of the chatbot. Now here user can give any kinds of messages and they can get the response. Okay, but let's try to make it functional. So here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write some more code. First of all, let's load my OpenAI API key, because here I need to load my model as well as the embedding model to load my index. So this thing you have to import. Okay, so the same code I written in my notebook, I'm importing it here. Okay, then I will load my embedding model and try to load the index, because I want to load my existing index right now. My index is already running in the Pinecone cloud. So first of all, load the embedding, then give the index name. So what is the index name, guys? Index name is nothing but Medical Chatbot. Copy and try to give it here. Sorry, search it. Medical Chatbot. I can copy from here. Done. Now once my index is loaded, I will got my doc source, then I'll try to create my chain. So this is the chain code, I think you remember. Same code I written in the notebook. Retriever, then initializing the OpenAI model, prompt, I'm loading the prompt, and this is the chain, rag chain. And for this I will create another route. So whenever user will click on this chat, okay, click on the send button, so this route will be executed. That means it will get a get. Okay, get message. Then whatever message user is sending in this form, I am receiving it here, input, then I'm executing in my rag chain. Okay, input is equal to message, then whatever response I'm getting, I'm showing in the chatbot. Okay, so this is ready. Now let me save, and if I come here, if I refresh, yeah, done. Now let's send a message. Let's say I'll give hi. So see, hello, how I can assist you. So I'll ask the same question I asked in my notebook. So here I'll copy. I'll ask for this disease. Now see, amazingly, it is giving you the response. Now let's ask another question. What is acne? Yeah, so this is the acne. Now I'll ask for the treatment. So this is the treatment. Now if I give, let's say, hey, I got sudden fever, what should I do? So see, this is giving you entire suggestion on top of that. Okay, so that's how guys you can build the entire medical system. Okay, now you have your chatbot. Now if you are having any issue, you can interact with your chatbot to get the response, to get the suggestion. Okay, based on that you can take the decision. Got it guys? Now this is the application is running on my local host. Now our task is to create this make this application public. So we have to deploy it right now. So our application is completely ready. So let's deploy the application guys. So I'll first of all update my GitHub. So here I'll write web app completed. Let's commit the changes. Done. Now if I go to my GitHub, refresh, so all of the code is updated. Yeah. So guys, you can fork it. You can also restart this repository, all of you. Okay, just try to start the repository as well. Okay, so guys, I think you understood. Let me know, all of you. So we completed the entire deployment, development. Now it is time for the deployment. Let me know guys. If yes, please try to hit the like. It has the memory or not? No, currently I haven't added the memory, but if you want, you can also add the memory. It is also super easy. So for this, you can use conversation buffer memory. So I already discussed in my LangChain series. Okay, so in my YouTube channel, I want to give you as a task, guys. Okay, so you can see I also have a video on LangChain, one shot video. So LangChain. Okay, so here I talked about the memory. Okay, how we can integrate the memory. Just try to see that. Okay, conversation buffer memory you can add here. Very easy. Okay, it is like very easy. Only one line of code you have to add. Yeah. Conversation buffer memory is there, summary memory is there. Okay, you can use any of them. Just try to go through the video. It's just a one line of code. Okay, so now we are ready for the deployment. Okay, now let's try to deploy the project over the AWS cloud. Okay, so for the deployment guys, I will be following some step. So let me show you the step I'm going to follow. Just a minute. So here in the readme file, I'm going to add all of this step. So let me commit the changes, readme updated. I will go to my GitHub. So let's close this at the tab. Yeah, so refresh. So see guys, this is the step we are going to follow. See, I also added this step like what to do after cloning my repo, create a .env file, because .env file I have committed, I haven't committed yet. Okay, so create a Pinecone API key, give your API key, open API key, give your API key. Okay, after that, you have to execute the store index.py to generate the index of the Pinecone, then app.py. Okay, then this is the deployment step guys will be following right now. Okay, AWS CI/CD deployment. So first of all, we'll be logging with the AWS console. So this is my AWS account guys. So if you don't have the account, first of all, try to create one account. Okay, all of you try to create an account. then try to follow the deployment along with me. Sir, can you please share how to deploy this is on Kubernetes, also fine tuning part as well? Kubernetes deployment, I think I created a video. Just go through that. Okay. Currently, I don't have the um, Google Cloud with me. Okay. All right. So now here, the first thing, guys, let me I think copy of this repo. Yeah. Now I can follow this one. So first of all, here I will create a IAM user for the deployment. So let's create a IAM user. I'll click on the IAM. Okay. I'll click on the IAM. So let's click on the user. So here I'll create a new user. I'll give the name. I'll give, let's say, Medical Chatbot. Uh, Chatbot. I'll click on next. I'll attach the policy. Because here I want to give some specific permission, not all the permission. Okay. That's why. So here you can provide some permission like I only need the ECR and EC2 machine. Okay, this two access. So this is the access, guys. Just try to copy the policy and try to add SARS here. So first of all, I am giving EC2. Okay, EC2 permission. And then once it is done, try to close it. Then copy the. Sorry, this is the ECR. Okay, and this is the EC2. I'll select it, and once it is done, I'll click on next. Then create the user. See, just behind me there is a button. Okay, create user. I'm clicking on that. So user is created. Okay, with the permission of EC2 and ECR. I need this two service only for the deployment. I don't use like all of the service. So this is called user management. I'm giving my permission, like what are the service I want to use. And this is the deployment process, guys. So here, first of all, we'll try to build an Docker image for the source code, push your Docker image to the ECR, launch the EC2 machine, pull your image from ECR to EC2, launch your Docker image in the EC2. Okay, this is the entire deployment step we'll try to follow. So yeah, my user is created. So I think there are too many tabs. I can close it. Need all of them. Yeah. Okay. So my user is created. Okay. Now here I'll go inside the user. I have to create the access token and secret access token. Okay. So for this, click on the security credential and see. Yeah, there are some alternative model also. Open router you can use, Grok you can use. Okay, anything you can use. Access key. So create access key. Command line CLI. I understand the above recommendation. Then click on the next. Then create the access key. So this is the access key and secret access key. I need it for the deployment, guys. Okay. So I'll try to download as a CSV file. Just keep it with you. Okay. This CSV file you need later on. Now I'll go to my AWS again. Now the next process, guys, you have to create the ECR repo to store the Docker image. So let's do it. I'll search for ECR. ECR, Elastic Container Registry. I'll open it up. Then I'll create the repo. So here you can give the repo name. So I'll give medical bot. Keep it everything as default and click on create. Yeah, so now copy this URI and save it somewhere. Okay, I need it later on. So maybe I can save it some here just for the future reference. Okay. Yeah, done. Okay, so my ECR repo is also created. Now I have to create the EC2 machine, virtual machine. So for this, again, I will go back to my AWS and search for EC2 instance. Open it up. Okay, so here I'll click on launch instance. And currently you can see I'm working in the West East 1 region. Okay, so make sure you also check your region. So give the machine name. So I'll give medical machine, and I will select the Ubuntu instance. Okay, let's select the Ubuntu instance because deployment servers we always use Ubuntu instance. Okay, Linux instance. And instance type I'll be taking at least let's say 8 GB memory. Okay, 8 GB memory. I will take this instance. You can see there are lots of instance. Let's take 8 GB memory. And this is the per hour cost. Okay, per hour cost. You can see. Now select the key value pair. I'll create a new one. I'll give, let's say, medical chat bot. Let's create the file and select it here. Okay, this file you need. Let's say if you want to access your instance with any third-party tool, let's say put your mobile stream, that time you can use that. But I don't need that because I will be opening this terminal, this machine in a separate terminal in AWS only. Now try to select this HTTP and HTTP, HTTPS and HTTP. And storage wise, let's take 30 GB storage. Everything is fine. Now try to launch the instance. Okay, just behind me there is a button. Click here. Now I'll click on view all instance. Yeah, so now status is pending. Now let's refresh. So it should be running. Okay, now see my instance is running. I'll click on instance ID and it is running, you can see. So here what I will do, I'll try to connect this instance. Keep it default everything, and there is a connect button. Just try to click here. It will give me a black terminal. Okay, in the terminal we'll try to make the setup and we'll try to do all the configuration for the deployment. Yeah, so let's clear. So this is my production server, guys. Okay, this is the Ubuntu Linux environment, and you need some Linux command, guys. You need to understand some Linux command because in production we always use Linux. And for this you can check out my MLOPs course. So here I'm going to do some setup, and these are some command, guys, you have to execute. First of all, let's update the machine. I'll copy and execute. Now I'll copy the next command. Clear. Let's give yes permission. Here, this is the new machine, right? Here we are doing the update operation, some required tools and package we are updating. Then copy the next command. So now we have to install the Docker. Okay, Docker in the machine we created because we don't have Docker installed here. So this is the command to install the Docker. This command you have to execute. Let's install it. So currently if I run Docker command, see there is no Docker. Docker happen version. See there is no Docker. Okay, so let's install the Docker. Then I'll copy the next command, this one. It is installing Docker right now. Okay, then this command and the last command. Done. Now if I execute the same command, Docker version, docker hyphen version. Now see, docker is running. Okay, this is the version we have installed here. Fine. So now everything is running. Now we have to configure our EC2 as a self-hosted runner. Okay, for this, go to your project setting. Okay, now this is my GitHub repo, guys. Make sure you're using your repository, not my repository. Go to the setting. Then here you will see one option called action, then runner, then new self-hosted runner. Then here select the Linux and you have to execute this command. So let's copy the first command and execute in the terminal. That means we are doing the connection with our AWS right now. Okay, because in GitHub, whenever there is a code, new code, you will try to commit, it will automatically trigger my CI/CD and my AWS will deploy everything. Okay, that's why we are making the connection. Now copy the third command. One by one, we have to copy all of the command. Then the fourth command. Done. Now two more command you have to execute in the configured section. So this command. So say GitHub action connected to the GitHub. Now it is saying enter the name of the runner groups you want to add. I don't want to give anything. I'll press enter. Now it is telling enter the name of the runner. I'll give self hyphen hosted. Make sure you give the same name. Okay. Then it's telling add additional label. I'll press enter. Now name of the work folder, I'll press enter. Now it's done. Now you have to execute the last command, this one. Now your GitHub would be connected with the AWS. See, connected to the GitHub, listening for the jobs. That means now my runner has connected. Now if you want to check it, go to the runner again. And you can see starter is idle right now. Okay, this is connected. Okay, so now we are ready for the deployment, guys. Okay, but before that, here you have to set the secret. Okay, secret, that means AWS access key, secret key, region, ECR repo, Pinecone, OpenAI. Okay, because if you don't have the credential, how it will authenticate with the account? So you have to give the secret as well. So let's add the secret. So to add the secret, go to the secret and variable, go to the action, and here you will see repository secret. Okay, so I'll click new repository secret. Let's copy the name. First of all, I'll give AWS access key ID. And here you have to give the secret. And where you will get the access key ID, guys? Remember, we downloaded a CSV file. So let's open it up. I'll open in my notepad. Not this one, I think this secret. Okay. There is a CSV file. So this is the secret. And don't share the secret with anyone. Otherwise, they will be accessing your account. Okay. I'll copy the access key ID and paste it here. Add secret. Then I will create a new repository secret. Next one is my AWS secret access key. I'll copy the secret access key. See, after the comma, this one secret access key, okay? And before the comma, this one access key ID. Paste here, add secret. Then new repository secret again. I'll do it for my region. Region is nothing but US-East-1. Make sure you check your region, okay? I'm inside US East 1. If you are in other region, you can give the same ID. So here US East 1. Then new repository secret. ECR repo, okay? I'll copy the name. Paste it here. ECR repo name. What is the repo name, guys? Repo name is Medical Chatbot. Just copy this repo name and paste it here. Then next one is my Pinecone API key. Copy that. Give it here, Pinecone API key. And what is the Pinecone API key? So we have in the environment variable. Let's copy it and paste it here. This is the Pinecone. Yeah. Now let me add the secret. Now I have for my OpenAI. Okay. OpenAI. So I'll quickly add this OpenAI, guys, in my other screen because I don't want to show my OpenAI like secret. Okay. So I will do it in my other screen. Yeah, so OpenAI is also added here. Fine. Okay, so all of the secret is added, guys. Nothing is left. Now we are ready for the deployment. But before that, here you need a Docker file. So let's create a Docker file. So here you have to give the Docker command. So let's add the Docker command. Mm, Docker. Just a minute. Yeah, so this is the Docker command. So here we are taking the Python image 3.10, creating a working directory, copy all of the source code, installing requirements, and after that, here we are executing our app.py. Okay. So now here I need another file called GitHub action. Uh, GitHub, okay, dot GitHub, because here we are using GitHub action, and we have to create the workflow. So dot GitHub, inside that there should be another folder called workflow. Okay, workflows. I think workflows. Okay, inside that we have to create a file called cicd.yaml. Inside that I have to mention all of the CI/CD related command. So let me show you. So this is the CI/CD command, guys. See. So this is for the GitHub action. Okay, so this one you will be getting in the internet. Okay, mostly in the GitHub actions. If you search like GitHub actions CI/CD command, you will be getting this command. Okay, so here we are doing the continuous integration. Inside that, first of all, we are authenticating with our account, then logging to the ECR, building the Docker image, and pushing it to the ECR. Then continuous deployment. We are again authenticating with the AWS account. We are taking the image and running on my EC2 machine. Okay, and all the Docker command actually you can see here. Okay, so this is the YAML file I need, guys. CI/CD YAML for the deployment. Okay, now let me do a verify. So your GitHub action workflows CI/CD.yaml. Okay, everything is fine. Now we are ready to deploy, guys. So now what I will do, I'll try to push the changes. Okay, so here I'll just write CI/CD added. Now seeing the changes. Now automatically your deployment will start. Done. Now if I open up my GitHub, so here you can see action is running. I'll go to the action, open the action. Now see, continuous integration is running. So it is right now building my Docker image. Okay, let's wait. So once this execution is complete, then we'll be able to see the app. Yeah, so this would be available, okay, because we are doing live. After the live, it would be saved as a recorded on the YouTube. Treat part, okay. Yeah, and check out this playlist always, okay. So in this playlist, all the video would be added. End-to-end generative AI project. So this is the playlist. This one. Okay, so let's wait. for the completion. And please guys, all of you give the like and subscribe to my channel. Please try to support my channel guys. Let's hit 50k subscriber as soon as possible. Let's take a target. It's possible guys. If you give your support, so definitely everything is possible. And let me know if you need anything else. I'll try to provide that as well. No, Vercel, I didn't deploy. See, you can also deploy on the render. There is another service called render. So render, you don't need to do this many of configuration, because here we're doing the custom deployment. We are creating the custom instance. So that's why we have done so many steps. Okay. But in render, you can simply do the deployment also. So now see, image is built. Now it is pushing the image to the ECR. So I can show you my ECR as well. Let's open the AWS. Let's go to the Elastic Container Registry. Right now, there is nothing. Okay, once the execution is complete, you will see the image. Yeah, sure. Threat. We'll try to see that. So this part usually takes time, guys. Let's wait. It's just a one-time setup. Okay, once you have done the setup, next time only you just need to commit your code. It will automatically get deployed. I like your project's AI job recommender was awesome. Thank you so much, Amaya. How about the LLM ops industries started adapting? I'll also talk about that. Okay, Trith, in my channel. So in between, let's have some water, guys. Have some water or anything. This process will take some time, and I think almost 3 hours. Almost two. I think it's more than 2.5 hours, right, guys? We are implementing this project on live. Yeah. So this is fun, right? Always live coding is fun. And you are also staying with me, so I really appreciate that, guys. And next time I want, just try to sit with your system. You can also implement with me, because real time also committing the code on my GitHub. Try to fetch it and try to execute from your end. Yeah. So let me know, guys. Recording is better or this kinds of live session is better? Because in recording, what happens? Just to make the recording simple, sometimes we also skip some of the part. Okay, but in live, I can explain everything. Okay, in detail. So I always like the live implementation. So you can let me know which one you feel uh, more comfortable. Maybe I'll try to give that content in a recorded mode or live mode. Let me know. Live session. Okay, thank you. Yeah, even we also can clarify the question live. Okay, this is another fun. Yeah, fine. So guys, you can see continuous integration is done. Now continuous deployment is running. So now it is running the Docker image from in the EC2 machine after pulling it. Now if I show my Elastic image, guys, Elastic container registry, so there is the Docker image. See, the Docker image is pushed here. Okay. So now let's wait for the continuous deployment. During LLM coding, we can explain on the live. For the AWS deploy, mostly same commands we can do record. Yeah, so that thing we can refer. See, currently I'm showing you the deployment on live. Maybe in later project, I'm not going to show you the deployment again. So you can refer this deployment as a reference. Okay, Trit. Yeah. So you can use that as a reference, because yeah, most of the deployment will remain same. So we are not supposed to do again and again. Now see, it is pulling the image. Let's wait. Why to get front-end template for such projects? It is available over the internet. Just try to search free chatbot HTML and CSS template. There are many websites, they will give you the code. Download it and use it. Otherwise, you can also generate with the help of ChatGPT. So nowadays, everyone use ChatGPT to generate this kinds of work. Okay, yeah. Any other question, guys? Let me know in between. Let's take some query. When targeting specific GenAI role, do we need in-depth YOLO as well, or till CNN work better? When targeting a specific GenAI role, do we need in-depth YOLO as well, or till CNN works better? If you are targeting for the GenAI role, so you don't need to deep dive in the computer vision. Okay, so try to deep dive in the GenAI only. But knowing computer vision will help you a lot to understand the multimodal. Yeah, so Pinecone version was changed when you saw the last time. Okay, that's why I took this project for the re-implementation. Okay, so that I can show you the updated one. Now see guys, deployment is done. Both of the execution is completed. Now I will go to the instance. Let's copy this IP address. Okay, IP address. Now if I paste it here, now see if I execute, it will not work. Okay, because we haven't added the port yet, because my application is running on port number 8080. Okay, we have to add this port. How we can add the port? So for this, you can see in the instance, go to the security, then security groups. Okay, then you can see edit inbound rules. Click here, then add rules, custom TCP port number 8080. Now select 000, that means you can access from anywhere, and save the rules. Then go to the instance, click on the instance ID. Now copy the IP address and again replace here and give port number 8080. Okay, now if I hit enter, see, you can see your chatbot is live. Okay, it is live. Now I can also share this URL with you. You can also access my chatbot, guys. But initially, if you send any message, it will take some time because it has to download that sentence transformer model. I think you remember it is downloading from the Hugging Face. It's around 500 MB. So you have to give some time to download the model. Okay, if you're using open source embedding model, but if you're using this I mean OpenAI embedding model, it will not take time. Okay, for the first time execution it will take some time because it has to download the model. Okay, I hope you got it. So yes guys, currently our application is live and we have successfully deployed, and this is called CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous deployment. Okay, now next time if you add any other feature, if you commit the code, it will again retake the new update and it will deploy over the AWS cloud without stopping your server. Okay, now let's see if I close this terminal also. Let's say this window. Okay, if I also close it, now still my application will run. Okay, yeah, and it is running in the Docker container right now. Okay, now let's try to see how we can close and terminate all the instance, because if I keep on running it, it will charge me. So for this, first of all, here I'm going to stop my instance. So go to the instance and select the instance state and terminate and delete. Okay, you can stop it. If you stop it, it will charge for the storage. Okay, and if you terminate and delete, it will delete everything. Let's delete everything. I'll delete. So now see, it is shutting down. Okay, after some time it would be deleted. Now I also need to delete my elastic repository. Okay, so I'll go to the repository, medical bot, delete. Okay, then I will also delete my IAM user. So let's delete it. I'll go to the IAM user, select the user and delete everything. So here I'll give the confirm message. Okay, deactivate the key, confirm and delete. Yeah, so everything is deleted guys. Now it won't be charging you. So can we upload code from GitHub directly to render without AWS? Yes, you can do it. Okay, and render it is possible. There is different option. Either you can deploy as a Docker image, either you can take as a code. Okay, everything is possible. Yeah. Okay, I'm querying and it working. Truth. Okay, great. Now it won't be working because I have terminated this instance. Okay, now you can see it. Now it will not work because my instance got deleted. Okay, now you can try guys from your end. You can use your account to do the deployment and you can try internally. Yeah, so guys, this is the entire implementation. Now let me know guys, how was the entire development? Did you like it? Let me know guys, did you like it? How was the entire development? If you like it, so please try to uh, send like I like it or I didn't like it. If you have any feedback, just let me know guys. It was helpful guys. This kinds of implementation do you want? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I have a question. Please ask. What is your question? In Get session, I more about dynamic memory of agents in bot. Definitely will be discussing about. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, great. And now it's your turn. You just need to practice. You just need to develop, and definitely you will be able to do any kinds of project. Where do you work? I worked in a company. It is in United States called Quantum Human. Okay, yeah, I'm working as a AIML developer. Knowledge graph is good for RAG or not? Yeah, so see, there are types of RAG. Okay, so every types of RAG has every potential, different potential. I'll also discuss about Hamid. Okay, I want to join your team. Yeah, definitely you can join if there is an opening. Definitely you can apply. Yeah, very helpful. I like it. Thank you so much. Can I apply? Yes, definitely you can apply if there is opening. You can apply. Okay, but here I'm also working with robotics. Okay, so robotics is also involvement. Robotics and AI. Okay, both actually I'm working on. You should have robotics skill as well. Any tips for remote jobs in GenAI? I'll be conducting a live on top of that. Okay, how we can apply for the remote jobs. Okay, great. Yeah. So okay, guys, thanks for joining, and follow me here on my LinkedIn. If you have any query, you can send me a message, and you can also email me. And please try to subscribe to my channel. Okay, this is the humble request to all of you. With that, guys, I think it's already 11. Let's close the session. Let's have the dinner, and good night, everyone. Bye. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.